everyone, my name is Jenny Andy Mangalari, and today we will tackle learners with difficulty walking or moving and learners with difficulty remembering and focusing. Physical disability. When you hear the word physical disability, what comes up into your mind? Physical disability may have an impact on some or all activities to a greater or lesser extent. Students with physical disabilities may have problems related to movement, posture, example, sitting and standing, grasping or manipulating objects, communication, eating, perception, reflex movements, and our automatic motricity. Physical activity and mobility may be impaired by a number of conditions, some of which are permanent, others of a temporary or intermittent nature. These conditions include cerebral palsy, arthritis, muscular dystrophy, multiple sclerosis or MS, Parkinson's disease, and repetitive strain injury or RSI. Back or neck injuries may also affect general mobility. A stroke may result in temporary or permanent loss of feeling or movement of part of the body, frequently on one side. Speech and vision may also be affected in students with cerebral palsy and multiple sclerosis, for example, and in those who have suffered a stroke. Coordination and balance may be mildly or severely affected by any of these conditions. Movement may be impaired by muscle spasms, numbness, or pain. As a consequence, both manipulation of equipment and writing may be difficult. So, coordination and balance can be affected by students. They are difficult. They find it difficult to manipulate objects, or examples are lisod sila magsulat. Yes. And some students use wheelchairs to enhance their mobility while others will walk with the aid of calipers. So what are some impacts of physical disabilities on students' learning? The impacts of physical disability on learning will vary, but for most students, the issues of most significance relate to physical access. So, manipulation of equipment, especially um, in writing or moving around the campus, students may be affected in the following ways. So when there is limited time to move between venues, students may miss the beginning of a class. So um, students may miss the beginning of a class because um, they are not able to move freely, or they cannot move faster as they could because of the disability they have. Fatigue is common for many of these students. Using facilities that others take for granted, such as toilets, food outlets, libraries, and lecture rooms, may be a major undertaking. Some students may experience functional difficulties and inability to write using a pen, reduced writing speed, involuntary head movements which affect the ability to read standard size print, and reduced ability to manipulate resources in the learning environment. They may have difficulty turning pages or using standard computers. So, students having difficulty like this can greatly have impact on their learning because because dili sila maka ultimo paggamit og ballpen, dili sila makabuhat because of the disability that they have. Students may have frequent or unexpected absences from class owing to hospitalization or changes in their rehabilitation or treatment procedure. Earlier periods of hospitalization may have meant gaps in schooling. So there are common causes for lack of concentration and focus. First is the ADHD, or the attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It is a common developmental difference that affects the parts of the brain that control attention, impulses, and concentration. Common symptoms are short attention span, restlessness, and constant fidgeting and being impulsive. People with the condition lack the filters to ignore what is going on around them, resulting in a lack of focus. It can occur in people of all intellectual ability and is common in people with learning difficulties. So, second is the lack of sleep. Third, stress. Fourth, emotional or psychological problems. This can be a number of things from anxiety, bipolar disorder, depression, and etc., to a learning difference such as ADHD, dyslexia, Asperger's syndrome, or physical disabilities. This can also impact negatively on concentration. And the fifth one is the environment. So, what are the teaching strategies inside the classroom? In focusing attention, use class and individual schedules. Start and end each class sessions by reviewing. Next, check on tasks as they are completed. Third, set goals for how much or a task they can complete in an allotted time. Next, as you model activities or problem solving, think aloud so students hear each step and what you are thinking while you are doing the step. Give students advance notice, a physical cue, a special word that you will be saying in showing key information. Use color codes to highlight key information, vocabulary, or directions. Break assignments down into shorter segments. Provide a physical environment that is free from distractions and clutter. Have the student remove all but the material with which he is working from his desk. Seat student in area free from distractions such as open doors or air conditioners. So it is very understandable that um, you will allow your student in you will allow them to have a distraction free environment so that they can focus, or they will be focusing on you during class discussions and or group activities. To help with memory or recall, provide the student with a written out schedule of classroom routines and timelines. Use semantic maps and diagrams to help students remember the connections between concepts. Provide multiple active opportunities to respond for all students. Vary the interaction patterns by giving students opportunities to work together in pairs, groups, and individually. Supervise students with SPLGS. Some learners, especially young learners, need to have more supervision until you have helped them to develop strategies to work with less supervision. Playing memory or concentration games can help students learn to focus better and longer. So examples of memory or concentration games include crossword puzzles, matching picture cards, and chess, and jigsaw puzzles, and etc. So that would be my topic. Thank you and God bless.